Improving the sustainability of West Virginia state parks has involved dozens of projects, small and large, throughout the system. The DEP's Mike Huff has the story of one park, Pipestem, and the big plans taking place there.
As you pull into the parking lot at Pipestem State Park's McKeever Lodge, you might notice something new, a pair of electric car charging stations, something park administrators say they hope helps market the park to a whole new audience.
The charging stations are awesome. We have electric vehicle charging stations installed here at Pipestem. We have 2 of them currently at McKeever Lodge. We're going to add 2 more at the top of Mountain Creek, where at the Canyon Rim Center, which will allow us to market to a whole different demographic, and that is those folks who have electric cars. And of course, Pipestem is complete as it relates to the electric car charging stations, but every one of our lodge parks will have electric car charging stations in them installed, hopefully by the spring of 2017. Tesla got wind of that, and they are interested in also supplying electric car charging stations as well. So we will not only have 2 universal charging stations, but eventually have Tesla charging stations as well. And what that does is that puts us on the map. Apps on certain iPhones and computer websites will map out where these electric car charging stations are. And Pipestem is already on the map, and we are already having people come in and plug in while they're unplugging at a West Virginia State Park.
But that's not the only change that's taking place at Pipestem. Plans are moving ahead to increase efficiency, both in electrical and water usage.
We have LED lighting, and the LED lighting will, of course, reduce our electrical costs, and that will be outdoor lighting as well as indoor lighting. As for the water, we're going to go with low-flow toilets, and of course that will reduce the water usage as well as reduce the amount of gray water that's going into our sewage treatment plants.
The park also plans to expand its recycling program, not just for park staff, but for guests as well, something more and more folks who travel green are looking for when picking a destination.
I think the message is that we recognize what we are required to do as good stewards of our environment. And the folks that come and visit us, particularly our visitors from Virginia and Maryland, the DC area, Ohio, and the bigger metro areas, they've come to expect that as a state park we would be conserving and actually look and actually actively seek out areas where they can recycle. And that's why we want to do that, is because our guests are asking us to do it, as well as it's being the right thing to do.
In Summers County, I'm Mike Huff for Environment Matters.
And if you visited a West Virginia State Park recently, you may have noticed a few less lawnmowers and a little more grass. That's not your imagination. For the past few years, state park operators have been cutting back on the amount of mowing by at least 10%, and they have several good reasons.
One of which is that we save on gas. Another is that we save on manpower, so we save on employees' time spent mowing. And another thing is the benefits of having a natural field habitat as opposed to having a mowed habitat. It's great for pollinators, which is really important since we've had a decline in the bee population, that we provide as much pollinating plants as we can. And it's good for birds, or native songbirds and things like that. They can eat the seeds, they can get better habitat and safer coverage and places for them to, kind of have their nests and to just exist in a better way.
Julie says sometimes it means just making a small change. Instead of mowing a 10-foot wide swath along either side of park roads, just mow 9 feet. It may not sound like much, but when you consider all the miles of roads inside your average state park, it adds up quickly.